Hello, in this video we're going to be covering the forward stance. This is a longer, lower, more extended stance than your walking stance. It's a little different than a fighting stance because a fighting stance we generally blade our feet a little bit. So this is a traditional Taekwondo forward stance. When we do our forward stance, we want to have our feet shoulder width apart. So just like if you're in Chumbi position, your feet should be approximately shoulder width apart. Then when you do your forward stance or your walking stance, that same width, that means the distance from the center of your body going out toward the sides, that is going to be the same even though it's a longer stance. Longer means going in front of your body and behind your body. So when I step into a forward stance, I want to think about keeping my hips square. I'm going to take a longer than normal step. A normal step would be about here for me. I want to take a longer than normal step, so I'm going to step here. Not too far, because I still want to be able to keep my back heel on the ground without turning my foot out to the side. So, in the forward stance, my front knee is bent, my back knee is almost straight, but not completely locked. I want to leave a little bit of movement in that knee, just a tiny bit. Both of my heels are on the floor. My big toes are aimed straight forward, all right, so that my body is moving forward. Now, the tendency here is to allow our hips to turn a little bit to one side. So if I was wearing my belt, you would see that my belt knot would be over here. Instead, I want my hips going straight forward here. If you find that turning your hips forward lifts your back heel off the floor, let me turn sideways so you can see that. If you find that as you turn your hips forward, your back heel comes up, that means you need to shorten your stance a little bit because you don't have the flexibility yet in your ankle to get onto the floor. So, forward stance is body forward, and we're going to have our front knee over the top of our foot. Let me grab something to show you real quick. If I take this bow and I get into a great forward stance, I should be able to set the bow against the front of my knee and draw a line straight down, and it should hit the top center of my foot. I don't want my knee to be over to the side one way or the other. I don't want it to be out over my toes like a lunge or behind my foot here. I want to be able to put this right on the center of my foot, make it nice and straight, and touch that knee. With my back foot, I still want my toes forward, not shifted out to the side. When you walk in your forward stance, it's a C step. So with my hands behind me, my shoulders are back and down, my head is up, my body is centered. I'm going to go in my C step, out, back to that shoulder width, heel toe, and sink that knee in, but don't lean forward. From the side, in, down, in, down, making sure that front knee sets in. And there's your forward stance.